I'm here chatting with Randy Rosales, an important friend of mine here in Vancouver. We both run our own companies, and we've been talking about how we can grow our own businesses while helping our clients grow theirs. So recently we're talking about the book. You brought it to me.
Yeah, who not how. Basically, if you have big, bold, audacious goals, things that you have never accomplished before, instead of figuring everything out by yourself and asking yourself, how can I do this? You should just find the experts who have already done it, who have the expertise, the know-how, the resources, the energy, and who have already figured it out, and hire them to help you achieve those goals. When they want to expand their marketing strategy, get more clients, what kind of the framework or the conversations you have with them, doing it everything themselves or in-house versus hiring an expert agency like yours?
Yeah, that's a great question, because it all comes down to the sales pitch that we give people on a regular basis, and that's when you bring on somebody, you take their full-time salary, you can break that up and get a lot more resources through using an agency. So you get an advertising executive, you get this fractional CMO, you've got the project managers, the web developers, the social media managers, and they're all kind of coming into there. So they can take a lot off someone's desk.
In the conversations that I have with founders, the common denominator that I see most often is that they don't know where their time is going. So we advise them to do a calendar audit and write down what they're doing every 15 minutes to really be aware of where their time is going. And then, if you're not spending at least 80% of your time on things that make you money or energize you, then it's time to do that calendar audit and delegate everything that drains your energy and doesn't make you that much money. What do you want from your business?
I would say most people would probably try to answer that and maybe have some difficulty, right? But when you think about it, it's just creating space to do the things that I want to do outside of that Monday to Friday, 9 to 5.
Exactly. So you want freedom to choose whatever you want to do with your life. But then if you just keep doing everything yourself, you're basically building a prison for yourself, a golden cage. And at the same time, if the business depends on you to run the day-to-day operation, you really don't own a business, you own a job. And it's really the worst job in the world because you're working for a lunatic, right? And we don't want that.
I think one of the best parts about this solution is that we're not talking about trade-offs, right? When you bring on someone to take something off your plate and create more space for you, you have more space in your job when you're there during the day. And you're also creating more space for you to leave that workspace and go and enjoy your life. But what happens when you push yourself too far, right? You can end up in a slump where you're exhausted every day, you're losing your inspiration, your ambition, and that's the sort of thing that can filter down through your entire team. You know, you're the one that's hyping people up every day, and they're going to match that. Yeah,
it's contagious. Most of the founders who want to sell their businesses is because they are already burning out. Because growing is so painful that you want to avoid pain. You want to run away from it. And sometimes you just want to quit and sell the business. And that's the worst moment to sell the business when you're desperate. And that's why it's important to build a business that is sales ready. And to be sales ready, you need to build a business that runs by itself, that doesn't depend on you.
When you're considering taking a core function of your organization, whether it's your marketing department as a whole, and transferring it to an agency, or it's working with an executive assistant, or all these other options available through Freelance Latin America, how do you broach the subject of trust when the clients are talking to you about that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's what most of our clients are concerned about. Trust, it's built over time, but you need the right structure to set people up for success. And by the right structure, we mean you need to have a clear job description so they know what they own, and you need to explain to them what their expected outcome is for each one of their roles, so they have ownership over those roles. Number two, you need to have clear KPIs. You need to have success metrics, like a scorecard that tells them if you do this every week, every month, you will be successful in your role. And this is your target. And it creates this ambition to hit the targets. And number 3, you need to have clear SOPs. If you don't have processes, systems on how you want things to get done, people will spend a lot of time figuring it out by themselves when you just can have a system, a playbook, a checklist that you just have to go through, but you need also to let go. Why? They are going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's going to do it as perfect as you. You are a unique individual. You have a unique skill set, unique expertise. Nobody's going to do it like you. But 80% done by somebody else is 100% freaking awesome to you. Not missing dinner with your family, 100% freaking awesome. Not having to miss your kid's soccer game because you are dealing with emails or billing or invoicing clients, 100% freaking awesome. And you have to just trust to let them scratch the car, but never total the car. But let them make mistakes. Yeah, exactly. Let them make mistakes and learn from them.
Well, and don't forget, even ourselves working in the areas that we're best at, we're not 100% perfect. We're making mistakes.
If you're wearing multiple hats, our advice would be split the positions into 2. Let's say instead of hiring 1 full-time person, hire 2 part-time, 20 hours each, and split the task. So you can find kind of someone who's a specialist on each one of the set of roles that you want to delegate.
Yeah.
But the idea is that if you're doing multiple things at the same time, you're not going to be as good as someone only laser focused on that.
Yeah, so you're wearing different hats. You need to figure out what those hats are and what is the point? What are you trying to accomplish when you put that hat on? Talked about luxury versus leverage, let's put it that way. So one of the things that we run into, and I think you're in the same situation regularly, where people look at bringing on someone to solve a problem as a bit of luxury. There's a really good reason, and when you have somebody in that position, what kind of things can you spend your time on if you're not answering emails, answering the phone, running your schedule?
Yeah, and it's also to protect your energy, because if you have to go into a meeting, you don't want to go through the back and forth of coordinating the time, the day, and once the other person has selected a time or date, it's already taken by somebody else, so you need to coordinate that again and go over the back and forth.
Yes.
You can have someone whose sole purpose is just to own your calendar and your inbox and protect your energy, so you just have to show up and be you. And wouldn't that be awesome? You first need freedom of time to make more money. If you don't have time to invest in the things that make you more money, you won't make more money. Also, money follows intention, money follows big visions, money follows big goals. And if you don't have enough time to focus on those, money won't follow.